Hey Qetic, this is Scott from TYCHO, and I'm here at Fuji Rock for the festival. We have a show tonight, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks for having us. Got it? Okay. Your music often evokes time and memory. What kind of timeline were you exploring this time? I think, a lot of the other albums are very nostalgic, and they were very, very based in the past and sort of my version of what I thought my youth was like, which is always kind of a rose-tinted version of it. But I think this one I was trying to look a little bit forward and be more contemporary and kind of explore a sonic space that I thought was kind of set more in the future than in the past. But I think at the same time, especially with songs like Green, that's such a nostalgic song that there's a few that I couldn't help myself, and they ended up being kind of backwards looking, facing. Got it. Your new tracks beautifully blend live groove with ambience. What was the key to that sound? Well, I think this was the first album that I worked with Chris Taylor from Grizzly Bear. He co-produced and mixed the album, and so I think I've always made the music is mostly electronic with like the guitars kind of are like the organic element, but I'm always trying to make the electronic elements sound organic. But like once I started working with Chris, I always thought like, oh, these sound so organic, and then when I'd hand it over to him, he'd be like, oh, this sounds so synthetic, we have to like place this in real space. And I was like, really? And then sure enough, he'd send it back, and I'm like, wow, that sounds like you're in the room with it, or like you're in the forest with it. So like his vision for kind of like building like rock records and that experience that he's had, and then applying that to this music and applying more traditional techniques, I think helped a lot to put it in a different sonic space. All right, your music feels deeply connected to nature. What kind of stage do you envision in Naiba's mountains? I think it's perfect. It's the perfect stage for it. Like, these surroundings are just incredible. And I grew up in a place called Sacramento in the Valley of California, which is right between the bay where I live now, the ocean, and the mountains. So we had Tahoe. It was really close to our house, like an hour away. So I spent a lot of time up there, and like the trees are a little bit different, but this reminds me of kind of the energy and the feeling of being up there. So I think that's always had a big part of the music is the kind of alpine aesthetic and the feeling that you get when you're in the mountains. So I think this is like the perfect environment for an outdoor show for us. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you ready? What's the funniest or most embarrassing lost in translation moment you've had? Oh, I know exactly what it is, and I was doing the poster for Fuji Rock last time in 2019. We were in a bus on the way here, and I was designing the poster, and I looked up online how to write Fuji Rock in kanji, like katakana maybe it was. Yeah, and I wrote it, and then I showed it to the promoter, and she started laughing. And apparently it said Fuji cock. And she's like, you don't want to post that. And then she told me what it was supposed to be. And like, if I hadn't been with her, it would have been posted on Instagram right then, and everybody would have laughed. What is something Japan does that you wish your country would follow? Oh my gosh, well, where I live, we have a huge issue with theft and burglaries, and I remember I had a backpack full of camera equipment in the subway here the first time I ever came to Japan in 2008, and I left it in the subway. I wasn't paying attention, and I left it there, and I came back like an hour later, and it was just there. And then just things like that, I feel like much more comfortable that nobody's going to steal my stuff, whereas in my town, you can't even leave like your sunglasses in your car, or somebody will break your window and take them. So yes, I wish we would adopt that in our country.